Thank you for joining us on Sheridan County Ag Today. With me is Emily Swinyer, the Sheridan County Extension or what is your title? The Educator.
The Extension Educator for the University of Wyoming. But
yes.
People know you as an Extension agent or
I'm
just
old,
the 4-H
so
lady.
It's still
It's all good.
That 4-H lady. So Emily Swinyer with the 4-H. So Emily, thanks for joining us today.
Good. Happy to be here.
Good. Well, there's lots going on. It's crazy to think that spring is here with everything. So let's just get started. We've got Carnival coming up.
Yeah. So this time of year gets really crazy and 4-H starts to ramp up and be kind of like a runaway train. And our first big event is the 4-H Carnival. And this is our 52nd Carnival in Sheridan County, which is crazy to think about. So this is number 52. And it's our primary fundraiser for Sheridan and our 4-H program, because we're obviously a nonprofit. We receive some federal funding through the foundation at the state level, but all of our county funding comes from this. And it's kind of an unusual fundraiser because, we're just selling games and tickets, and then of course we have the prize table, and we get some really cool prizes. We've moved on from Oriental trading, and we've really stepped up our game. It's going to be good. And so we've got the prize table, and then they can win fish and
fish for your horse tanks.
3 years ago we won a fish. That fish is still alive.
Oh, man.
And we've had to upgrade the fish tanks. But anyways, Carnival fish are apparently very high quality, or stock tank fish also can be put there. But so you can win all kinds of prizes. There's going to be yummy food, and that your money is all going towards a wonderful program. And that's what helps keep 4-H free in our county. We try to make sure our programming is free and accessible for all kids, and this is one way we can do it.
Well, I won't tell you how old I am, but I can definitely say that I was around in the teen years of the Carnival. But for somebody who's never been to Carnival or isn't sure, it's not Carnival like you think.
We're not going to have any roller coaster rides or anything like that.
But it's the cakewalk, and it's these. So why don't you, kind of go over maybe some of the things and a little bit about the day of and that kind of.
Yeah.
Jazz.
So if you think Carnival, take all of the rides and things out of your mind and think of the different games that you're going to be playing around a carnival. Those are the kinds of things that we have. So obviously the cakewalk, there's cornhole, there's different, there's the rubber band gun types of things, and there's skee ball, all kinds of things like that. And each game is just one ticket, and a ticket is $1. And
and it's for all ages.
All ages. A lot of them are geared. We have kind of a variety of games. So we have some that are geared towards preschool age all the way up, and then of course can accommodate the accessibility of the game based on the age of the kids. So if you're itty bitty, of course you're going to get to get a little closer. And we have penny prizes. So even if you don't score big and win tokens, you're still going to get some candy and stuff. So what you do is when you win or are successful, you then, for your $1 playing the game, get a token. And then you can redeem those tokens at the prize table. Some of the prizes, we're going to have a whole fish tank setup. So when you win your fish at the game, then you can come and buy the tank to go with it, because, you got
the whole thing to go home.
We're thinkers here.
Way to go.
Lawn chairs and we had some VR headsets last year. We've just had lots of 4-H swag and things like that. So we've really upped our game with the prizes. So
fun. Yeah. So give us the when, where, what time, all that.
Yep. So it's March 9th.
Okay.
And it's from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So it's just a few hours, and it's at the Sheridan County Fairgrounds Exhibit Hall.
Okay. And I know, listen to any of Sheridan media stations, and there's some of our young 4-H people
so cute.
who came up and did some PSAs for it. And yes, they are. It's always great to have the kids come up. They do such a good job.
They get all nervous and weird about it. I'm like, here you go. You're going to do good. We like to pick different kids each time to do those PSAs just so they all get that experience and get to try it because it's a big deal.
It is. It is. I had the little neighbor boys, the little Grzalka boys last year tell me that they thought it was pretty cool. They got to be radio stars. So,
yeah. So, but Carnival is such a great time. And even with our older kids that come, they get to, obviously our older members get to help and run the games. Our Teen Leadership Council is selling fresh popcorn and cotton candy right there. So we've got some other elements and you can of course get hot dogs and chips and pop and all of that over at the concession stand. But it's just going to be cool to have some different elements this year. I'm excited for that.
Well, and if I'm correct, each club has a game. So
Yes.
each club in our county is involved with Carnival. It's not just one, or it's not the office. It's all.
It's the clubs. And so each club has a booth with a game and they operate that game. So in years past, each club has like decorated their booths and different things and had to come up with a game that fit a theme. And last year we kind of shifted gears and decided that our theme was Carnival. Shocking, I know. We invested in some really nice, solid games. We had parents build some out of wood. So we've got better games that can be used every year. And so I think that has made it a little easier for clubs. And that way they're not always trying to reinvent something. And the community will know what kind of games to expect. And we've added some new ones this year and retired some for years to come. But it's more sustainable that way.
Right.
And I feel like the quality of our booths are better.
Right.
Plus, we had some great people in the community donate their time and creativity to really make some beautiful game pieces, either the game itself or props that have been painted by either members or community members. They're pretty beautiful. So
We are so fortunate to live where we do, to have the people who donate to most any youth event.
oh yeah,
It's amazing.
it has been pretty great. And so I'm sure that many people in the community, I'm sure teachers, and you have probably been bombarded with members. Hey, you want to buy a raffle ticket? You want to buy a raffle ticket? Here's an orange raffle ticket. And those are of Carnival. The raffle itself is the biggest avenue for us to bring in money. And so we have all of them go towards winning a basket that each club donates a basket.
Okay.
And then we have some that are just local businesses. So there's like $1,000 for tires. There's all kinds of really, really great prizes that are on there. And tickets are $2. You can find that under the seat of your car, at least in my car. So
In the couch cushions.
couch cushions, the laundry room. And so $2 a ticket's pretty doable, or $20 for the whole book. And then we're actually drawing during Carnival this year.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. You don't have to be present to win, but we'll have all the raffle baskets there and raffle items. And then it's going to be a good time. The cool thing about the fundraising for the raffle tickets, because I know I said those bring in the most. I've had people ask my children while I've been with them, while they're peddling raffle tickets, what are you raising money for? What are you raising money for? And that's a very legitimate question, that if you're going to be putting your money towards something, you probably want to know what they're going to do with it, right?
Absolutely.
So Sheridan County 4-H as a program is free. We're one of the counties in Wyoming that do not charge an enrollment fee. Many do, and we don't. And our classes, I can't even think of the last time we've charged for any kind of educational piece. We try to keep those free as well. Obviously, if you're doing a project, we're not going to buy your fabric or your sewing machine, and we're not going to buy your steer and its feed. But to come and learn, those learning opportunities, sorry. But the learning pieces we try to keep free. And so that's the biggest thing. And then also our council. So the money all goes and is managed by 4-H Council. And the council itself gives out scholarships for graduating seniors. So we have 3 scholarships available, a $750, $500, and a $250 every year. And so we have applicants for that. And then also traveling to go to all these different state events and county events can get really expensive. Our council also provides funding, a daily per diem for kids to be able to travel and participate. It doesn't necessarily cover all of the costs, but if you're going to the Wyoming State Fair and you're there for 6 days, $40 a day really does help. It definitely doesn't cover everything, but it'll cover a meal a day or cover your fuel to get there. So we're very thankful that we have that available, and we're thankful for the community for helping us be able to encourage and fund these kids to be able to go and learn and explore and try new things. And
well, and not only that, you've had some of our local youth go to national competitions in the shooting sports.
Yes.
And then also the livestock judging team has gone to national events.
Right. And even international. So we have a member that's going on an international 4-H trip. So we pay even more for those. So we do ask that the members come to council and request support. And then when they're done, they come back and give a presentation about what they learned, just tell us about their trip. And we pay $500 for that.
Wow,
per
that's
child.
great.
So when we have a team going to nationals shooting sports, $500. So the money goes directly back to the kids. And
Cowboy State Bank, helping farmers, ranchers, and the ag community succeed for over 100 years. So if somebody would like some raffle tickets and they don't,
still available.
I would say, and they don't necessarily maybe know a 4-H youth, can they contact you at the office?
Yeah, we actually have several books at the office that are just for walk-in purchase. And so absolutely, the extension office is open and we have tickets for sale there as well.
Can they still get them the day of at the carnival?
No. So that's different. We stopped doing that a couple of years ago. So the carnival tickets the raffle tickets are all due on the 28th.
Okay.
So next week.
So
that way we have time to count them and get everything organized. And that way also we're not trying to, that's a lot of money and movement of parts to have at Carnival. And we just felt like it was better to try and keep a little bit of separation. And then when we're ready to do the drawing there, we're prepared.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So what else is going on?
Projects. Animal projects are a big, so projects themselves, like last night we had a full house at the extension office. We had meat judging team was practicing in one room. We had the swine project meeting and they had a guest speaker about food and nutrition. Then in the conference room, we had the interior design group meeting, and they are making miniature models of like a house and a bedroom, and they were laying hardwood floor down.
Oh man.
They were making it out of tiny popsicle sticks and then gluing it down to they were learning about texture last night. So they had all kinds of fabric samples and they've learned about complementary colors. It's a whole new thing. And that class is being taught by one of our former members.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Can adults come? Because that sounds like a whole lot of fun.
So Marley Graham graduated last year and I just love that kid. I knew her from my time at the junior high and working with the after school programs there. And she loved making the miniature models and doing the interior design. And everyone has always been like, oh, Marley, these are so great. And so she said, what would you think about if I could teach something like this? And so we got her trained as a leader, and she has about 7 kids that come.
How fun.
It's so fun. I kind of was bummed that I couldn't be in more places at once last night. But the point of all of that is that we have classes every night of the week. And there's a lot of variety in the learning opportunities that are being offered. And all of those things are being funded directly by these fundraisers that we're having. And that's how we're able to host them and have all the resources that we need.
4-H isn't just about the animals.
Absolutely not.
I think that's I had the FFA students on last week talking about National FFA Week. And one of the things that we talked about, and 4-H is the same way, it's not just the farm and ranch kids anymore. There are so many project areas that have nothing to do with an animal.
We have 60 in Wyoming, which is crazy.
Who would have thought? So you don't have to be a kid that has to have an animal to be a part of 4-H.
Nope. And So we're hoping, we've actually got our indoor committee that's working on some fun workshops. We're going to hopefully do like a succulent garden or fairy garden classes. We've got some teen leaders that are looking into hosting some cooking and baking classes. So that's really exciting too. Speaking of those teen leaders, we're having our swine clinic again this year. Remember we had the girls come in and talk about it? And we're opening it up to the region this year.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're inviting Johnson and Campbell County.
Okay.
And we're going to have some of their teens join our teens and really make it a deal. So I'm pretty excited. We just got the dates. So the swine is going to be May 18th here at our fairgrounds. And then we're also going to have a sheep and goat clinic. And we're working with having it kind of in the middle and doing it in Johnson County. And then having sheep one day, goat the other day. That way, if people are traveling from Campbell County, they won't have to come as far.
Well, and what a great place to have the sheep in Johnson County. It's
facility.
Such a, they do, they really do. And the sheep has been such a prevalent animal
we feel like we should
in
go to
Johnson
the pros
County.
For
yes,
that.
yes.
We've got some people who are really savvy that I'm hoping can help us out. So I don't have all of that solidified yet. We're still working with getting that reserved, but I'm really hopeful that we're going to make that happen in June. And then we're going to, again, have some teen leaders from Sheridan County, Johnson County, and Campbell County come together and put together some of their leadership skills and the things that they're really passionate about, and then turn that into sharing it with others. Because for me, 4-H is great. It's great. You raised this hog. You were successful. But what if you took it a step further and you took the things that you learned and you were able to teach someone else? And you were able to take that thing that's that spark and that excitement inside of you, and you're able to light someone else's flame. So that's what I get really excited about with these teens, because they're getting mature enough where they can teach other people and take on a little bit of that leadership role, and they may be a little uncomfortable, and sometimes it's stepping out. That's
how you grow.
That's where the growth is. Go out on the limb. That's where the fruit is.
Well, and to take it one step further, at our jackpot show that we did last year, we had Stuart and I just kind of advised a little bit and did a lot of behind the scenes work, but it was college students who were all former FFA and 4-H members who actually were running the show.
They did such a good job.
And, yes. And so it's great to see those kids who started as these teens take that next step up.
It was really cool to see them doing that, because I'm like, they were some of our teen leaders, and now they're continuing with their leadership, and they're continuing to try new things. And planning an event like that is hard. It's so many moving pieces, trying to get things arranged, and they're just doing it. And I love that they're already starting to want to do that now with hosting these clinics. So, but with that, if you're going to be doing an animal project, the time is now. We have lots of deadlines coming up. Beef is an example that if you're planning to show a market beef, you already have your animal. The deadline has come and gone.
Yes.
We've had tagging, we have all of your information, you're locked in. And also you're already enrolled in 4-H. Now, it's a little tricky because we say, yes, it's open enrollment until June 1st. But if you're doing some of these animal projects, there are deadlines before then. So like if you're doing an animal project and you want to show your dog, it's May 1st for that ownership of your dog. And we also have safety and temperament testing that your dog and you need to go through, and that's needs to be arranged like now. So those are things to think about. So if you're wanting to do that, you really need to get enrolled now, because the only way you're going to know about deadlines and important information is if we can communicate that with you. And I can't effectively communicate it with you if I don't know who you are. So even in the horse project, they have safety testing and you have to have that done by certain deadlines. And I'm sorry, Heidi, I don't have all your stuff in front of me, but I know that there is deadlines even with that. And right now that we're starting to get sheep, swine,
goats, and I'm guessing maybe poultry. I don't know much
Not
about
quite
poultry.
yet about poultry. It's still a little early for poultry. You may have some rabbits that are for sale.
Okay.
So with the sheep, goats, and swine, they've all been born. They're weaning now. Many of your producers are having either online or open barns and things that you can come and look at their stock. And like, you can buy anywhere. There are options all around the country and transports available. But boy, is Sheridan so well situated, because we have access to producers right here. I mean, within a day's drive, you can go and get a really high quality animal that you're going to be successful with. And you also have access to just a great project animal. You know, if your goal is not to go and win the whole thing and you want to be successful, or if you want to just try it before you jump in both feet, there are animals available right here that can fit a variety of price ranges too, so that it doesn't completely break the budget, but at the same time you're able to be successful and achieve your goals.
Quality Kubota machinery and customer care from the heart. Proudly serving Sheridan and the surrounding areas since 1996. Go online to heartlandkubota.com or stop by Heartland Kubota, 2450 Heartland Drive. Well, and I think if you're looking and you're not unsure, get a hold of Emily at the Extension office, and she can help get you a list of the local producers. Come to the project meetings. Go to your club meetings.
Yes.
You know, they can help get you in contact with Emily if they're not sure who does those things.
Yeah, I've got a list of people, kind of just either from up in Montana to all around, kind of a whole big donut around Sheridan, where you have access to some awesome producers for all three of those species. And if you're wanting to show rabbits, we've got great rabbit breeders as well. If you're wanting to do a meat pen of rabbits, so that's something we had some more participation in the meat pen of rabbits last year. And to participate in that, this is the interesting thing. Those members have to own both parents, and they have to, so you can't just go buy 3 rabbits that are about the same size and hope for the best. So there's a lot of math involved. So right now you think, okay, the gestation of a rabbit is, I'm going to wing it and say 33 days. Okay. So counting 33 days. And then the rabbit needs to be no more than 70 days old at fair, but has to weigh a minimum weight. The individuals have to meet a minimum weight. So you have to count back 70 days, count back your gestation. And so if you're going to be breeding your own rabbits for a meat pen, you probably need to start doing some math now and making those plans now. And then poultry, we have, there's local businesses here. I know Farmers Co-op does a meat order for 4-H kids. So if you have something you want to order specifically, either meat birds or like meat chickens, turkeys, those kinds of things, we do a group order with those. So go to your poultry meeting, make sure you talk to the superintendents about that, because we've got some leaders that'll help you connect, and then they'll come in and we'll make sure that they're obviously shipping during when it's a little bit warmer, and they still have plenty of time to feed up, so you are having a successful project. Poultry is one of those things, you don't want them overdone, you don't want them too big, and you also want them finished.
Well, and leading into that, so we have such a successful sale here.
Yeah.
But we do have openings in that sale for the feathers and furs, which is the poultry and the rabbits.
Yep.
There's requirements by the superintendents that they have to meet to be a part of the sale. It's not like every kid who takes a pen of meat rabbits or meat birds can get in. There are, just as you said,
a little bit stricter with our feathers and furs. So if it was a sheep member, as long as they meet the minimum weight requirements, they're allowed to participate in the sale, which is huge. But for our poultry exhibitors, let me clarify, for our meat pen and our meat rabbit exhibitors, they have to be either Grand or Reserve, overall pen, and they have to be deemed market ready by the judge. So that's
where the math comes in.
That's where the math comes in. So they have to meet the minimum requirement, but they also have to meet the age requirements. and you have to win. So it's pretty, the only way that you can have, if you did not win Grant or Reserve and you could sell, is if, say, the winner already had 3 other animals that they were selling and they chose not to sell their turkeys, then you move up a slot.
Okay.
But if you're not market ready, then you don't.
Right.
So there's a little bit more, a few more boxes to check, but my kids have participated in the Market Poultry Project. We did turkeys and we loved it. It was fun. Might do it again one day. Just not set up for birds anymore. My bird barn got taken over by goats.
I was gonna say you're kind of in the goat mode. So
I know. When they love the goats, you just sacrifice the coop and turn it into a goat shed.
You know, I'm thinking that if Ren Swinyer works real hard, she might get Stuart to get a goat.
We've got some really pretty full bloods.
You know,
we're almost sold out of weathers.
I mean, the steers and the heifers need a mascot in the show barn, right? They need a goat.
They do. It could be a calming goat, and they can name it Lupe.
Claire Justice had a goat that lived with her steers. So, I mean, why shouldn't we?
We can make that happen for Stuart. We just show up at your house.
Hi.
Ask for forgiveness instead of permission.
And like he's going to tell Ren and Mason no.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, you know, you touched on the animals right now. If someone is looking for a beef project, because that deadline is already has already passed, get a hold of Emily next fall. Mm-hmm. She can get you in contact with whomever the beef superintendent is to get that information. Yep. You know, also there's quite a few local producers around here. I know that Stuart and I usually try to take kids on a little tour through Montana to meet some of the producers. So Emily can always get you in touch with us if you have kids who are interested in that. Yeah.
Absolutely, because we've got so many connections. The only thing with beef that could still be a project for kids, so when we've been referring to the beef project, it's been specific to market.
Right.
But if you want to show a breeding heifer or have a bum calf or something like that, then you have until the June 1st because your calves are either being born or not born yet. Mm-hmm. So you have a little bit of time on those. But for your market, the reason the deadline is so early is so that we know that you have it and you've got it on a feed program. That way you can successfully meet your weight goals.
Yep.
So that you can participate in the sale.
Yep. And there's huge. Also, you know, along with that breeding beef, you also have the heifer futurity, which is, you know, a two-year commitment project. A little bit different than what your guys' Supreme U and Supreme Doe is, but very similar.
Very similar. They were modeled, the Supreme Doe and Supreme U were modeled after the heifer futurity. And so if you don't know, the heifer futurity is where you take a heifer and you have her and you bring her and you hopefully have her bred. And so she has to be bred at fair to be eligible for phase 1, so the yearling phase of the heifer futurity. And then if she's successfully bred and shows and does well, then you move into phase 2. So phase 2 is when she calves and you bring her back the following year with her calf at side and bred again.
Yes, that's always the tricky part.
So that's the futurity piece, is this is a continuing program. And so I love it when I see them. They have this calf, then they bring her back and she's bred. And then they bring her back, she's had that calf and she's bred again. And so you're seeing that longevity in that child's breeding program and also the choices they've made on the sire, what choices they've made on their feed programs.
The coolest thing I got to see was Josie Ankney had been in the program long enough. She actually brought a heifer back from her original heifer futurity cow and brought that heifer again, you know, 3 years later. And it was really cool to see
that they're still doing it.
Yes. And so how is the Supreme Doe and the Supreme U a little different?
So with the gestation times for both of those smaller ruminants, it's a little different. So Supreme Doe, I'm going to use that one as an example because that's what we do at our house. So you have a yearling doe, a doe being a goat, and she's you don't want them bred at county fair. So they need to be open and they need to be a yearling. That fall or late summer, they need to get bred, obviously. And then it's a 5-month gestation. They'll kid in the winter, early spring, and they'll come back at fair with their kid at side.
Okay.
Same thing with the sheep. It's just because of the shorter gestation time, we had to tweak it a little bit because you didn't want them bred at county fair because then the kids will be.
It throws the whole timeline
It kind
off.
of monkeys it around. And so in order for the kids, because the offspring that come back, so either the lambs or the kids, they can be somebody's market project too. So you're exhibiting the mother, and then you're also saying, look, this is an example of the offspring that can be produced. And so it's really cool if that offspring is an exhibiting market animal also. So it's pretty cool.
Well, good. So what else is going on in 4-H?
Oh gosh, shooting sports.
Oh, yes.
Right. So we just started with shooting sports these last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So the indoor range has been open out at the Sheridan County Sportsmen's Association. They've opened it, and we have access to the indoor range, which is so huge that we can have kids participate in that. And it's they don't have to do the full membership. They have a youth membership that's only $10, which is amazing. Wow. And to like chase a rabbit, we got a grant for some shooting sports, and we did some shopping around, and Rocky Mountain Discount Sports was able to hook us up with new rifles, new air, all the things.
Wow.
We've got some really cool new 3D Reinhardt targets. We've got new arrows. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Ron is so great to work with the youth. I mean, he's been great with FFA stuff and with 4-H, and we're very lucky to have him in our community.
For sure. Those kids are so jazzed. Most of them don't know, especially the archery kids, because archery starts in March.
Okay.
So right now it's just indoor. So archery starts in March, and they get all, it's like going to be like Christmas. They have all these new things. And a lot of the things that the kids in the indoor range have been using, as far as our air rifles and even our 22, they're older. A lot of, it's time. And so it's so nice to have some new equipment and that all function at the same time, so that we have enough that everyone can use one.
Hey,
it's just, you think about how we've always been just, okay, because they share them. Multiple members use the different ones. And so now it's like, yes.
That's awesome.
They all
That's
work
great.
at the same time. It's really, really great. And I'm so thankful that we were able to get that funding to be able to. Oh, and so all of our targets at the indoor range, they're paper targets, and we hand score them in years past. You ever hand scored a target?
No.
It's awful.
Okay.
Just so you know. It's terrible.
Good to know.
There's math, number one, it's not good. And then you have the little magnifying glass, and you have to see, did it break the line and all this other. It's not super fun. But there is technology that we bought with this grant
that you are very excited about.
I'm so excited. It's the Orion scoring system, and this is what they use at the nationals and at the state level contests, and Sheridan County owns one now.
Oh,
and
great.
so all you do is you just scan your target, and it tells you your score.
No more math.
That's it. There's no room for error. That's it.
Awesome.
And so we were able to get the computer with the software, the scanner, all the targets. It's going to be amazing. It's going to save us time. It's going to really improve our accuracy. And then our kids participate in an NRA marksmanship contest. And so they level up every time that they earn.
Okay.
Right. And so to hand score them and then keep it in a spreadsheet, it's a little cumbersome, and then submit it to the NRA. Now it's going to be fast. And so with youth especially, they need and love that positive reinforcement, especially if it's immediate. If
Instant gratification.
Yes. It's probably what's going to do our society is that instant gratification. But man, is it a great carrot to use for kids if they're trying to improve their scores, to be like, you know what, you set this goal and you made it. Here you go. And not have to wait and say, did I make it? Did I not? I don't know. It's going to be great. And I think about County Shoot and how we have all of those exhibitors and participants shooting and then having to hand score all of those things. Now it is going to streamline that process, because I think we have tables of people standing around for hours hand scoring targets, and we just won't have to do that anymore.
Oh, great.
It's going to be amazing. So that was the excitement for that, because we would have to, somebody would score it, somebody else would score it, everybody initials, and then when you disagree, you start over.
Making plans for building a new barn, shop, or commercial building? Don't do any planning without a call to Sheridan's premier post-frame building and homes builder, True Built Builders. Online at truebuiltbuilders.com.
Those days are over.
Yes, now you don't have that.
Those days are over.
So we got Carnival coming up.
Yes.
March 9th at the fairgrounds, 4 to 7 p.m.
Tickets are available for one more week for raffle tickets.
And if there's anybody out there who wants to donate their time, or maybe they want to monetarily donate to the 4-H program, who and how do they get a hold of you?
So if you want to be a sponsor of Carnival, or just as for awards or for 4-H in general, you can always reach out to our extension office.
Okay.
You can call there, or you can email us. Our information is everywhere. We have a Facebook page, Sheridan County 4-H. We have a website, SheridanCounty4H.gov. So we're out there, and that's one of our goals has been to be very seen and active in the community, and I think we're getting there for sure. But if you would love to, we would love to have you. So just reach out, and we're a nonprofit, so we can do donation receipts and things like that for the IRS to make sure that everybody's working together well.
And I can tell you the leadership training's pretty simple. Like Stuart and I, it was fun, and it was not a big deal.
I try not to torture you with my leader trainings.
No, it was awesome. We had a good time.
I enjoy it too. That's with my background in teaching. That's why I love the kids. And so now I get to teach the teachers.
Teach the adults.
Yeah.
We're harder than the kids.
Tough crowd.
So anything else about 4-H?
That's it right now. If you
want,
if you want to participate, now's the time to really get involved and get signed up and stay in the loop on these deadlines, because I would really hate for you to miss them and have to wait another year to participate. So jump in now.
Well, and if anybody needs information how to get a hold of the of Emily and Corey and Chandra, you can always call up here and get a hold of me. I can give you all that information as well.
I appreciate that, Liz.
No problem. All right. Well, thank you, Emily, for joining us today. Excited to come to Carnival. I need some cake and
hook you up.
All right. All right. For more news, sports, and podcasts, check out SheridanMedia.com.